now, the two candidates for
Tell your
VP1.
mommy to get me my glasses. I want to see
Michael Ochonogo, Mocho, as he's popularly known, is here. We have architect Emmanuel Owigo Aguke with us. We are waiting for Honorable John Edogberry, but I hope he will join us because I have Joe Tejuri reaching out to him to get him online. So why I have you here, gentlemen, and in the interest of the people that are on YouTube, and I know our technology is a little shaky, I want to start off exactly as I did with the VP1. The Constitution, the current Constitution, provides for exactly two lines of job description for the Vice President. One, the Vice President is deputized in the absence of the national president to act as the national president. That's role number one. Role number two, the vice president shall perform any task that is assigned, by the national president. So it doesn't leave us a lot of room, to philosophize about positions and anything. But I wanted to start off from the stated aims and objectives of USAOSA Agbaro, Unity School Agbaro, or USAOSA, Old Students Association. The number one aim and objective of this association is the general well-being and welfare of its members. Then from number two, if you follow down to number 5, it talks about the progress of Unity School Agbaro. So this question is to any one of you in particular. Feel free to take a stab at it. If you were given a preference to invest, where will you put your investment? On the welfare of the members or on the infrastructure of the school? Anyone?
Okay. Do I start?
If you want to, please go for it.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I want to say it's nice to be with you. I think I enjoyed part of the first session we had with the other persons, the diaspora guys. I think it's good to be with you and also to be with my senior, Emeka Ochonogo. It's the first time we're talking. Yes, I don't worry, it's on already, right? Hello?
We're still waiting for him. He's not here yet. But go ahead with your response, sir.
Okay. So, good evening to you both. Well, I will first of all, if you say where will I invest first? From my manifesto, you will know that for me, I will invest first in human capital. That is the individuals. That is the individuals. Because I believe that if you get it right with the individuals, then you get it right with infrastructure. Because it is people that come together to build infrastructure. The more persons you have that are capable, that are able, the more you are sure of getting it right with infrastructure. The gap for infrastructure today that you're seeing is not because we don't have the ability, it's because the network is not as strong as it's supposed to be. But we have more gap in terms of human capital development. Human capital development you look at in two forms. One, building persons at the school level, at USA level, that is giving them the best there at the school, so that when they leave USA, they go to, more of them will be able to have access to education at the higher institution level, study good courses, and come out as very excellent professionals who can get into good places in the employment market to support USA tomorrow. Then human capital development also in terms of supporting those that have come out of school.
All right, I think we have a frozen pause from architect Emmanuel Aguke. I just want to rephrase the question for Emocho and elicit a response. Now, the question I asked is this. There are two stated aims and objectives of USAOSA in the Constitution. Number one, the well-being and welfare of its members. Now we're talking about alumni, people who are no longer at Unity School Agbaro, who are now, independent persons. And then from numbers, actually letters from B to E focuses on developing the infrastructure of Unity School. My question to you, sir, is if you had to make a choice, which one would be your preference? Would you develop the members and well-being first, or perhaps focus on the school infrastructure, Mr. Ochonogo?
Yeah, good evening. Ben, thanks a lot for this meet the contestants and discussion. I want to thank everybody here and the whole USAOSA. If you look at it, actually, on the two objectives of USAOSA, the two you've mentioned so far, that is the welfare of the members of USAOSA. That is, when I mean members, people who have graduated out of the school already, and the infrastructure in the school. From our view, looking at the welfare of the people, of the members, is paramount. Because if we're looking at infrastructure, reason being that infrastructure, I know we all talked about getting NGOs and other agencies to support the development of the school. But let's look at ourselves first of all, okay, internally. If you say you want to do anything in the school, the fewer you are who are able to raise funds, the more difficult it is for the body. But the more you have people that can support the goal of the association or the development of the school, the easier it is for everybody, okay? So it is better off to start thinking of how you can grow the people in the association, USAOSA. When I mean welfare, it's not giving somebody money, okay? Getting people to do things for themselves that will fetch them that money. So that tomorrow, if it's okay, we're looking about maybe a small project of say about 10 million Naira project in the school, okay? And yeah, we have people in the diaspora, we have people here in Nigeria, but then let's always remember something. Every human being, every man has his own responsibility as a family man, okay? So if you have 10 people who have, that 10 million will be a problem for them. So it means each individual are bringing out 1 million. But if you develop the people in the association to the extent that you have 20 people now that can bring that fund, it reduces the expenses on each individual. So I consider the concentrating on the development of the welfare of the members, USAOSA members first, before you start thinking about infrastructure. Thank you. Ben, I seem not to be hearing you, eh?
Sorry, I was speaking and I was muted, sorry. I mute myself when others are speaking just by force of habit because we want, to eliminate ambient noises. I was just saying that unfortunately we've lost Emmanuel Aguke. I think his video was frozen and he had stayed on for the entire duration. I had asked him to step off. He probably exhausted his battery or bandwidth or, what is it, Glow, MTN. So he may need to get some credits. We also await John, Honorable John Edogberry. I'm rallying some posses. I think Wale Abu is after him. Joe Tejere is also after him, trying to get him to the forum. But the floor is yours, sir. Everybody is waiting and everybody's here. I'd like to hear from you. Everybody talks about these constitution of ours and how dated and how some of its provisions are no longer relevant and so on and so forth. But I wanted to pick out a particular section, part 4, Section 30 that deals with discipline. You know, we have witnessed, is Joe Tejeri coming back in? We have witnessed a number of, you know, rowdy behavior on the floor of the House, the main floor. And the Constitution does provide for a 5-man disciplinary committee, you know, to deal with issues of members' conduct. We have a very robust you know, bylaws, you know, that guides our conduct. I just want to hear, dated as it were, the Constitution, what is your thought about this kind of 5-man disciplinary committee when it comes to dealing with the conduct of members of the association? You are mute. There you go.
Yeah, Ben, it's like you were just by my wall this afternoon or this evening when I was just thinking about the disciplinary committee, because as it stands today, I would say we don't really have a disciplinary committee. Like you rightly said, that constitution is been long. It was put together when the first NEC came in, and we hurriedly put that together to be able to register the association with the CAC, okay, which I would say, fortunately, I was a member of the NEC team then. So it was something we had to quickly do, and we had just put some lawyers within us to put out that constitution, okay, to enable us finish up with the registration process, okay. And over time, a lot of us have looked at that constitution, and so many things that needs to be adjusted, or we need to review the constitution again to accommodate a lot of these things, and also set up the disciplinary committee to handle such situation, okay? Just like the last one that came up with the petition of a thing, we had to hurriedly, as NEC members, hurriedly put up a committee to investigate that. I know the outcome of the investigation, or we come out later in the platform from the national president, the current national president, okay? Be as it may, like, right, we need to really put this together. I know so many people have talked about project here and there all this while. We need to have a project team. That needs to come into the constitution also, because I don't like a situation where anybody just wakes up, a set just wakes up, a chapter just wakes up, oh, I'm building this in the school. No, let's remember one thing. Unity School Agbaro had a master plan and had a design, okay? In that master plan, there are places meant for particular items, particular structures, okay? By the time you leave everybody to do whatever they want to do, what now happens? You kind of have, maybe before you know it, one day we'll go to that school, the normal football pitch, the one football pitch 1 and 2, maybe somebody has built so many structures there and we don't have a football pitch. So there has to be a kind of a control in place. Yeah, if you have all the millions to do something in the school, we are not saying no, but please, it needs to be channeled through the appropriate quarters. The NEC we have a project committee, a project team who are responsible for managing this. You understand? So it's not like everybody just doing whatever they like. Then it's like at a stage it might turn to chaos that we don't even have space to stand in the school. Okay, so these are the things that we need to look at. Like the disciplinary committee is one particular one. This is the first time this thing has happened in the USAOSA platform, particularly during this campaign period, where people were throwing different kind of things at themselves. Okay, and to me, it wasn't called for. This is supposed to be a family affair. Okay, and insulting each other or telling us the past of somebody was not necessary here. Okay, so by then the disciplinary committee will be set up properly by the NEC once the new executives are elected, whether I'm there or not, but I believe I'll be there. I'm very strong of that.
Thank you, Mr. Ochonogo. I think we are blessed to have Emmanuel Aguke back with us.
Yeah.
And I want to, Yeah, welcome back. I saw that your video was frozen for a little bit, but I
Yeah.
want to repeat the question that I just posed to Mr. Ochonogo so that you two can respond. I was referring to
Okay.
Part 4, Section 30 of the Constitution that calls for a 5-man disciplinary committee to oversee the affairs, the misconduct, I should say, of any member in the association, not only on the platform, but in any event or any activity that the USAOSA is putting up. So my question to you is, everybody is talking about the dated nature of our constitution, meaning that it is old and ancient. But how do you feel about this type of disciplinary committee?
It's okay. It's okay. I'm in support of it. Discipline is part of getting things right, because without any system, without laws, without control, discipline is a control measure to get people into the right brackets of operation or behavior in any system or society. I am totally in support of it. I think the constitution is due for review to accommodate such, because not just that, because you also look at other areas. The constitution is growing, is expanding. So new ideas are coming up, new things are coming up. So we have to look at the constitution to accommodate more ideas and more things. You see, because the issue of discipline is thrown up more this time because of the way the elections were thrown open. It's the first time we are having an online election, and so persons may not be so used to this now. I think a lot of things have been observed too that will be put in check for um, um, upcoming elections. So if 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 for any system that wants to grow, you continue to update so that things can get better. It's all part of improvement. Personally, you recall I had one or two issues on with persons who are using
Yes, sir.
languages that are so.
Let me spare the personal references, because we don't want to shift the dynamics.
So
yes,
okay, but
I
what I'm trying
recognize
to
your
say now,
response.
what
I
I'm trying to say
recognize
now
your
is that,
response, sir. You responded. We need to develop. We need to move forward. We need to put in new measures in place to monitor more of these kinds of interactions. Now, I want to turn over to my senior colleague from the Electoral Committee, Mr. Obajiri. I don't know if you have any questions for this gentleman, but please fire away.
Yes, not really a question, but just to commend them for the role they have played so far, and just to recognize that this is a step forward. I was just looking backward, and I was looking at what we have achieved so far, and no disrespect to previous position holder in their session. And I think they should be asking themselves now that they probably got theirs on a platter of gold, because they all came in and took a bow. But this time around, it's a big fight to get in. So well done to everyone, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you so much. I believe we are now joined by the third candidate for VP1, Honorable John Edogberry. I've renamed you. It was difficult identifying until your video showed. We're not going to go backwards, but as we continue in this conversation, The time is limited and people are, we have about 7 minutes left. And I want to be respectful of their time so their wives will not throw buckets at me, or husbands, as the case might be. So I want, in the time left, for each of you to just kind of reframe your candidacy and reset it and tell us why you should be the next VP1. Anybody can start. Just tell us why you should be the one that is elected.
Okay, can I start?
Please go for it, Emmanuel.
Okay, my name is Architect Emmanuel Aguke. Like you all know already, I'm of 92 the Unity School Agbaro. I'm happy that you've asked this question. It was a very important question. And yes, I feel I should be the next VP because, one, I'm young. Two, I have great ideas that will add value to what is on ground already. Three, because I am somebody that is committed to whatever I do. Number four is because I have passion, strong passion for excellence, for delivery. And I have also a strong passion for USA. And because of all these things, I made up my mind specifically to add value to what we are doing in USA when I was drafted into that committee for the reunion. That opportunity exposed me to a lot of gaps that are there in the school and in the association. And I told myself after serving on that committee that I was going to do my best to add value to what I have met on ground. As I speak with you, at that point, I realized that there's so much to be done in terms of the school system there, the value there at the school, in terms of what education there at the school should be. As I speak with you, there is a lot of gap between what we had and what they are having now. And the truth about it is that what they are having now is supposed to be far, far better than what we have if they are supposed to meet up with the standard of the present day society. I am shocked that there is a big gap. I want to
Mr.
go into
Aguke, please wrap up.
I want to go into the details. Then when you now go back to the infrastructure too, when we were doing the reunion, I discovered that the infrastructures have dilapidated far, far below the standards that should be able to help in giving these students the required quality of education that they want. So there is need for a total overhaul of the system there at the school. Then you now look at the association too.
Sir,
there's a gap because
I have
there
to
are new ones coming.
I have to stop you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude or dismissive. I think you've addressed what your candidacy prioritizes in terms of the needs of the school and what you will do. We still have to hear from your two contestants. Honorable John Edugberry, you came in now. This is your opportunity to tell us about your candidacy in 2 minutes, sir, no longer than 2 minutes, because Mr. Ochonogo has to go. And we have to be done here at 9:15 or thereabout. Please go ahead. Tell us about your candidacy, what you would do, and why you should be the next VP1. Honorable, your mic is mute. You need to unmute your microphone. Okay, so why don't we go to Mr. Ochonogo? We'll come back to Edugberry.
Okay, good evening again. Why should I come in as VP1, or why should I be elected as VP1? I would say number one, my passion, one thing that leads me in life as a leader is being able to listen to others and their ideas and coerce the ideas, kind of coordinate the ideas, coerce their ideas to achieve results. Because that is the one important quality of a leader, to be able to listen to others. No man on earth knows it all apart from God. Okay, so the best thing for a leader is to be able to listen. Listen to others, whether the younger generation or the older generation, put the ideas together to achieve the result. Also, the commitment. One watchword for me is commitment and sacrifice to USAOSA. Okay, and like I said, one of my goals in my retirement plan, which I've always shared with a lot of my opposites guys, is to go back to teaching. And Unity School Agbaro happened to be one of the schools which will be in my area of cover because for the school. So basically, my experience working with corporate organizations, I should be able to talk to these corporate organizations to kind of have include USA as part of CSRs, okay, helping to develop the school infrastructurally, just like Chevron has been doing. I will also join the Chevron team with the people I know in Chevron to also come to Unity School Agbaro and have their CSRs there also. That is all. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chonago. Now, Honorable Edogberry, please go for it. Tell us why you should be the next VP1. The big masquerade has disappeared. John, are you there? Well, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are watching live on YouTube, I want to thank you for your persistence. No,
good evening.
I can hear you, but your speech is garbled. Can you move back from the microphone, sit back and speak?
Yeah, I think.
Is that Aguke or Edogberry? Who's speaking?
Is that right?
No, I'm wondering who was. Go ahead.
You asked a question.
Yes.
Why I am vying for the position of the Vice President one of USAOSA. Yeah, I am vying for that position to be the Vice President of USAOSA because of the passion I have for the school. Unity School is the foundation of what I am today. Unity School has given to me, and it is now time for me to give back to the school. And the only thing I can do is for me to make sure it's giving a facelift. And the only thing that can make us to give the school a facelift is to make sure that the infrastructure of the school are put in place. If you visit the school today, you will see that learning cannot really take place in that environment. Thank God for our brother who is in the state government today that make it possible for the state government to renovate our dilapidated dining hall and some classrooms. And I equally want to thank the incoming national president who tried as much as possible to make sure that one of the hostels is equally renovated. As I'm talking to you here,
My daughter was a former student of that school. When I was the member of PTA in that school, there was a motion I moved for the renovation of one of the hostel A. Today, that is the only hostel of boys that have been in existence before the one that was renovated by Chevron. As I'm talking to you here today, there's a block of classrooms that I influence from the federal level that is under renovation now in the school. These are the things we need to put in place for the school to come back to its glory. Because before was the school that should be reckoned with in this area. But because of the decay of the infrastructural development of that school, most parents have taken their students out of that school. So what we want to do as an old student is to make sure that all the classrooms, even to the extent of the master's quarters, are renovated. And there is no way we can say that we want to use our personal money to do that. There must be an intervention, either for the federal level, or the state, or other government intervention agents, which I believe, if I'm voted in as the vice president of the association, I will try my possible best as the senior legislative assistant to the deputy senate president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to make sure that the federal government look into the activities of that school. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. There you have it, brothers and sisters. We're about 4 minutes over time, but I want to thank all the contestants for making the time to be here this evening. You didn't have to do this. I thank you for your commitment to the cause. We all know that this job doesn't pay you much. Instead, it pays you in insults and suffering and sacrifice, but we do it anyway because we all love USAOSA and we love our foundation. So I just want to remind everybody that at some point this evening, 5:45 my time, the voting links will be deployed to your respective emails. Please resist the temptation to click and vote now, because it won't work. The platform will not be active until midnight tomorrow. I want to thank all of you and wish you the very best success. I hope that the best man wins. And I thank you for, sticking by me and this crazy idea of getting everybody together so we can get to know you better. Thank you for your time. It's been wonderful. And again, you have my best wishes. Godspeed.